Important! Here are 8 cancer smells that people don't pay attention to. Have you ever felt like your body is trying to tell you something but you can't quite put your finger on it? Is it possible that a smell, something so subtle, could be the first warning of a serious illness like cancer? What if you or someone close to you were giving off these signals right now, without knowing that ignoring them could be costly? The truth is that cancer, one of the most devastating diseases in the world, often sends signals that go unnoticed. Among them, changes in body odor may be the first indication that something is wrong. Imagine that these smells are alerts from your body. Would you recognize them? Today you will discover the 8 cancer smells that people tend to ignore, but which can be crucial to saving lives. So stay until the end, as this information can make all the difference. Let's get started. The relationship between smells and cancer. Did you know that cancer can change how the body works in subtle and unexpected ways? One of these changes occurs in metabolism, which can generate specific chemical compounds. These compounds can alter body odor, breathing, and even the smell of sweat. Although these changes are imperceptible to many, scientific studies indicate that there is something very important behind this. Volatile compounds emitted by the body in response to cancer have already been identified in cases such as lung, skin, and bladder cancer. Researchers observed that trained dogs can sniff these changes with very high precision. These animals have already been able to detect the presence of tumors in the early stages, even before clinical examinations detect them. And it's not just dogs that are helping in the fight against cancer. Science is also developing devices that replicate this ability, creating technology capable of analyzing the chemical compounds emitted by the human body. These tools could in the future revolutionize early diagnosis methods. However, until the technology is widely available, paying attention to subtle changes in body odor can be a powerful warning tool. Persistent, unexplained smells can be one of the first signs of something wrong, and ignoring them could mean wasting precious time for diagnosis and treatment. Imagine being able to identify cancer in its early stages just by recognizing a change in body odor. This possibility, although it may seem surprising, is increasingly grounded in science. Therefore, understanding the connection between odors and cancer is an important step towards saving lives. If the human body emits these signals, how can you recognize them before it's too late? In the next topic, we will detail the 8 most common smells that could be warning signs for different types of cancer. 1. The sweet nobody wants to smell. The smell of lung cancer. Lung cancer is one of the most silent and dangerous forms of the disease. It can develop without showing visible symptoms for a long time, but in some cases there is an unexpected sign: the smell. People with lung cancer may report a sweet, slightly fruity odor coming from their breath. This smell is caused by the release of volatile organic compounds in the lungs. These compounds, generated by the altered metabolism of cancer cells, accumulate and can be detected in the breath. Although this smell is very similar to that of fermented or spoiled fruit, it is different from common bad breath. It does not disappear easily with oral hygiene, and above all, tends to be persistent. Unfortunately, this sign can go unnoticed for months, as it is easily confused with other conditions such as digestive problems or even diabetes. Therefore, it is essential to pay attention if the odor is frequent and without an apparent cause. Lung cancer also tends to present other symptoms that, when combined with the smell, should be investigated. Among them are persistent cough, difficulty breathing, hoarseness, and chest pain. If these signs are present, it is essential to see a doctor immediately. Lung cancer is one of the most lethal, but it is also one of those with the best chances of treatment when detected early. Therefore, being aware of the sweet and fruity odor on your breath can be a decisive factor in saving lives. Have you ever imagined that something as subtle as a smell could be the first warning of such a serious illness? In the next topic, we'll explore another unusual but equally alarming smell, the metallic odor that can indicate blood problems. 2. Metal in the air, a danger signal in the blood. The metallic odor is another unexpected sign that can be associated with a serious illness, blood cancer. People with leukemia or lymphoma often report a metallic smell coming from their breath or sweat. But where does this odor come from? It is caused by changes in the levels of iron and other chemical compounds in the blood. When cancer cells interfere with the production or destruction of healthy cells, they also affect the body's chemical balance, generating compounds that result in a peculiar smell. This odor is described as similar to the smell of rusty iron or old coins. It can be noticed mainly in situations of excessive sweating or after light physical activity. The biggest problem is that this sign, as it is subjective and does not cause immediate discomfort, is easily ignored. Most people associate the smell with changes in the environment, diet, or hygiene without realizing that it can be a serious warning that something is wrong. In addition to the metallic odor, leukemia and lymphoma present other symptoms that together form a worrying picture. These include extreme fatigue, persistent fever, recurring infections, and unexplained weight loss. If metallic odor is present along with these symptoms, seeking medical help should be the priority. Leukemia and lymphoma are diseases that can progress quickly, but with early diagnosis, the chances of successful treatment increase significantly. If you notice a persistent metallic smell, especially on your breath or sweat, don't ignore it. Think of it as a signal from your body asking for immediate attention. In the next topic, we'll explore an even more pungent and easily recognizable smell, the odor of ammonia, which can be a critical kidney warning. 3. An alarm in urine. The smell of ammonia from the kidneys. Kidney cancer is a serious condition that often develops silently. However, one of the most unusual clues the body can give is the smell of urine. A strong, pungent ammonia odor may be one of the first warning signs. This smell occurs when the kidneys, which have the function of filtering the blood and eliminating toxins, begin to fail. With cancer affecting its functioning, there is an accumulation of chemical byproducts in the body such as urea, which generates the characteristic smell of ammonia. It is important to highlight that not every ammonia smell indicates cancer. Urinary tract infections, severe dehydration, and high-protein diets can also cause changes in urine odor. But if this smell is persistent and accompanied by other symptoms, it is essential to investigate. Symptoms that often accompany kidney cancer include back pain, blood in the urine, intense fatigue, and unexplained weight loss. These signs, combined with the strong ammonia smell, should not be ignored. An additional problem is that people are often hesitant to seek help because they believe the symptom is not serious. However, kidney cancer is more likely to be treated successfully when diagnosed early. Paying attention to changes in the smell of your urine can make all the difference. If you notice this odor associated with other symptoms, or if it appears inexplicably, make an appointment with a doctor immediately. In the next topic, we will address an even more disturbing smell that often goes unnoticed: the odor of rotting meat, a warning sign of skin cancer. 4. The horror of rotten meat, a skin cancer warning. Skin cancer, especially melanoma, is one of the most dangerous types of this disease. It can manifest itself in many ways, and surprisingly, one of the signs can be smell. People with advanced skin cancer often report an odor reminiscent of rotting flesh or something decaying. This smell is the result of cancer cells that begin to necrotize, releasing volatile chemical compounds that cause the unpleasant odor. The smell of rotting meat can appear in open wounds or skin lesions that do not heal. These injuries, often ignored or mistaken for simple bruises, can be the first clue that something is seriously wrong. One of the reasons this signal goes unnoticed is its location. Skin lesions or wounds may be in areas that are difficult to see, such as the back or scalp. Additionally, the odor can be attributed to hygiene problems, common infections, or even the use of certain cosmetic products. Other symptoms often associated with skin cancer include changes in the color, texture, or size of spots and moles. If a spot darkens, grows rapidly, becomes irregular, or begins to bleed, it is crucial to seek medical evaluation. When these signs appear along with the odor of rotting meat, the urgency for a diagnosis increases. Melanoma in particular is known for its high mortality rate when not treated in time. However, early detection can save lives, as treatments have a greater chance of success in the early stages. If you notice a persistent, unpleasant odor coming from a skin wound, don't ignore it. See a dermatologist for a detailed evaluation, even if the smell seems small or insignificant. In the next topic, we will talk about a less common but equally alarming odor, the smell of sulfur or rotten eggs linked to gastric cancer. 5. Sulfur in breath, a sign of stomach cancer. Gastric cancer is an insidious condition that often presents with vague symptoms that are difficult to detect. However, one of the most notable signs may be on your breath, the smell of sulfur or rotten eggs. This odor occurs due to improper digestion and the release of sulfur gases in the digestive tract. When the stomach is affected by cancer, it cannot process food properly, resulting in the production of volatile compounds with a characteristic smell. Bad breath related to gastric cancer is persistent and does not go away with oral hygiene or changes in diet. It can be confused with minor gastrointestinal problems such as acid reflux or gastritis, but its persistence should serve as a warning. In addition to the smell, gastric cancer can bring other symptoms that reinforce the need for medical attention. These include abdominal pain, a constant feeling of a full stomach, loss of appetite, frequent nausea, and in advanced cases, blood in the stool or vomit. One of the reasons for late diagnosis of gastric cancer is the similarity of symptoms to more common and less serious conditions. The smell of sulfur, although subtle, can be one of the first signs that something more serious is going on. Being aware of this odor and associated symptoms can be the difference between detecting the disease early or when it is already at an advanced stage. If you notice persistent changes in your breath or other digestive signs, see a gastroenterologist for an evaluation. Remember that gastric cancer, when diagnosed early, has more effective treatments and a greater chance of success. Now that you know this crucial sign, let's talk about another intriguing odor that may arise: the sweet, unpleasant smell, a warning of breast cancer. 6. The sweet that scares, the smell of breast cancer. Breast cancer is one of the most common diseases among women, but it can also affect men, although it is rare. One of the lesser-known and more unusual signs of this disease is the sweet, unpleasant smell that can emanate from the skin or wounds associated with the tumor. This odor occurs especially in more advanced cases of the disease, when there are infections or tissue necrosis in the affected area. Cancer cells, when growing uncontrollably, can cause inflammation and local infections, releasing chemical compounds that result in this characteristic smell. Open wounds or ulcers on the breast are often the source of the odor. This sweet smell can be mistaken for signs of simple infections or poor hygiene, but its persistence should serve as a warning of something more serious. In addition to the smell, breast cancer often presents other important signs. These include lumps in the breast or armpits, changes in the texture or color of the skin, abnormal secretions from the nipple, and persistent pain in the region. Any combination of these symptoms, especially accompanied by a sweet and unpleasant odor, requires immediate medical attention. The biggest challenge is that many people ignore the initial signs, believing that it is not something serious. This negligence can delay diagnosis, reducing the chances of successful treatment. Breast cancer has high cure rates when detected early. Therefore, paying attention to the signs, including the characteristic smell, can save lives. If you or someone close to you notice unusual changes in skin odor or sores in the breast area, seek medical attention immediately. A clinical examination and, if necessary, imaging tests such as mammography or ultrasound can help identify the disease in time. In the next topic, we'll talk about an even more pungent odor, the smell of feces, a warning sign for colorectal cancer. 7. The odor of decomposition, the clue to colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer is one of the leading causes of cancer deaths worldwide, but its early signs are often ignored or confused with common gastrointestinal problems. Among these signs is a change in the smell of feces, which can become much stronger, more persistent, and with an odor similar to decomposition. This unusual smell occurs because colorectal cancer interferes with the digestive process, causing the release of toxins and gases that alter the natural odor of feces. These changes may be associated with incomplete digestion or the accumulation of toxic substances in the intestinal tract. Although it is normal for the smell of feces to vary due to diet or medication, when the odor of decomposition becomes frequent and unexplained, you need to be careful. This odor may be accompanied by other worrying symptoms such as blood in the stool, persistent abdominal pain, changes in bowel habits, and unexplained weight loss. One feature that makes colorectal cancer particularly dangerous is the fact that many symptoms, including smell, only appear in more advanced stages of the disease. Therefore, noticing changes in odor may be one of the few warnings available before the problem worsens. If you notice persistent changes in the smell of your stool, don't hesitate to see a doctor. Exams such as colonoscopy, stool analysis, or imaging tests can help identify possible abnormalities in the intestine. The good news is that colorectal cancer, when diagnosed early, has a high chance of being cured. Being aware of changes in the body, like the odor described, can save lives. In the next topic, we'll explore a lesser-known but equally alarming odor, the smell of mold or rotting wood associated with mouth and throat cancer. 8. The hidden mold, the mouth and throat cancer warning. Mouth or throat cancer is a serious condition that can be difficult to detect in its early stages. One of the most surprising and little discussed signs of this disease is the peculiar smell that resembles mold or rotting wood. This odor is caused by several factors, including secondary infections, tissue necrosis, and the release of volatile compounds from tumors in the mouth or throat. As the cancer progresses, these compounds accumulate and generate the characteristic odor. People around you may notice this smell when talking to someone who has the symptom, as it is most noticeable on their breath. Unfortunately, it is often associated with poor oral hygiene or dental problems, which can delay seeking medical help. The musty odor is often accompanied by other important signs. These include persistent hoarseness, difficulty swallowing, sores in the mouth or throat that do not heal, white or red spots in the mouth, and even unexplained ear pain. If the musty smell is present along with these symptoms, it is essential to see a specialist, such as an otolaryngologist or an oncologist. Tests such as biopsies, Connecticut scans, or MRI can help identify the cause of the problem. Although mouth or throat cancer is a serious condition, its chances of cure are significantly greater when diagnosed early. Therefore, never ignore changes in breath or other unusual signs related to the mouth and throat region. If you notice this persistent smell or other associated symptoms, take action. The earlier the disease is identified, the better the chances of successful treatment. Now that you know all the 8 smells that could be signs of cancer, let's discuss what to do if you or someone close to you starts noticing these changes. What to do if you notice these smells? Noticing one of these unusual smells on your own body or on someone close to you can be scary, but the most important thing is to act quickly. Recognizing that the body is sending out warning signals can make all the difference in early detection of a serious illness like cancer. The first step is not to ignore or underestimate the smell. Although it can have less serious causes, such as infections or changes in diet, it is crucial to be aware if the odor is persistent and unexplained. Avoid justifying the smell as something passing or common, especially if it is accompanied by other symptoms. The next step is to schedule a doctor's appointment immediately. Explain to your doctor, in as much detail as possible, the odor you noticed when it started, and whether there are any other associated signs, such as fatigue, pain, or weight loss. The doctor may order specific tests, such as blood tests, biopsies, or CT scans, depending on the case. If the smell is related to visible changes, such as non-healing wounds, bumps, or blemishes on the skin, this should be reported urgently. These combined signals help experts identify patterns and investigate the possibility of cancer. Additionally, keeping a log of symptoms can be extremely helpful. Write down when the smell was first noticed, its frequency, and whether it intensifies in certain situations, such as after physical activity or when consuming certain foods. This information can provide important clues for diagnosis. If symptoms persist and the initial doctor cannot find a clear cause, consider seeking a second opinion. Specialists such as oncologists, dermatologists, or gastroenterologists can offer more detailed evaluations and direct necessary tests. It is also essential to remember that early detection of cancer drastically increases the chances of a cure. The earlier the disease is identified, the more treatment options will be available, with better results. Finally, adopt a preventive stance to take care of your health as a whole. Carrying out regular exams, maintaining a healthy diet, practicing physical exercise, and avoiding harmful habits, such as smoking or drinking excessive alcohol, are measures that help reduce the risk of various diseases, including cancer. If you notice these smells in someone close to you, share your concern in a sensitive way and encourage that person to seek medical help. Fear or misinformation often prevents people from taking timely action, and encouragement from a friend or family member can make all the difference. The next step is to be aware of other additional signs that may appear along with the smells and understand their importance. Let's explore this in the following topic. Additional signs that may accompany smells. In addition to unusual odors, the body often gives other signs that may indicate the presence of a serious condition such as cancer. Paying attention to these additional signs, especially when they appear along with changes in body odor, can help identify problems earlier. One of the most common signs is unexplained weight loss. When the body loses weight quickly, without changes in diet or exercise routine, this can be a warning. Cancer often consumes a lot of energy and alters metabolism, leading to significant weight reduction. Extreme fatigue is also a symptom to watch out for. Unlike common tiredness, this fatigue does not improve with rest, and may be the result of cancer's impact on the production of healthy cells. It is particularly worrying when it is accompanied by other signs, such as the odors described above. Another sign is the presence of wounds that do not heal. These sores can appear anywhere on the body and often emit unpleasant odors, such as the smell of rotting or sweet meat. Difficulty healing may indicate problems with the immune system or malignant processes in the tissue. Changes in skin color or texture are also an important warning. Dark spots, scaly areas, or raised lesions that persist or worsen should be evaluated. When accompanied by odors such as mold or sulfur, medical attention becomes even more essential. Persistent coughing or hoarseness, especially along with changes in breath, should also be investigated. These symptoms may be related to lung or throat cancer, and their persistence is a sign that something is not right. Unusual bleeding, whether in urine, feces, sputum, or from skin wounds, is another indicator that should not be ignored. Bleeding is usually accompanied by strong smells, such as iron or old blood, reinforcing the need to seek medical help immediately. Difficulty swallowing is another symptom that deserves attention, especially if it is associated with a musty or rotten wood smell. This symptom may be one of the first signs of esophageal or throat cancer and should be treated urgently. Finally, frequent fevers or repeated infections can indicate problems with the immune system, often linked to cancers such as leukemia or lymphoma. These conditions can also alter the body's chemical balance and generate unusual odors on the skin or breath. If you notice any of these additional signs along with the odors described, don't wait. Seek medical help immediately. The combination of these symptoms may be the body's way of warning that something is not right. In the next topic, we will close with an inspiring and motivational message, highlighting the importance of taking care of your health and listening to your body's signals. Don't wait for serious signs to act. The human body is an incredible machine, capable of sending us signals even in the most critical situations. The odors we discuss here may seem like insignificant details, but for those who pay attention, they can be the first steps towards saving a life. Early detection is one of the greatest weapons against cancer. When we notice the problem early, we have more treatment options, more hope, and a real chance of overcoming it. Therefore, never ignore what your body is trying to tell you. Unusual smells, subtle changes, or persistent signs should not be left until later. Every moment counts. If you or someone you love has noticed any of the signs discussed, encourage them to seek medical help. Taking care of your health is an act of love towards yourself and those who care about you. Life is a precious gift, and making small efforts to preserve it is worth it. Share this knowledge, spread the information, and help create more awareness about the signals that the body emits. Remember, you have the power to make a difference in your life and the lives of those around you. Never underestimate the importance of listening to what your body has to say. Now, make a decision. Will you ignore these signs or use this knowledge to transform your life? The choice is in your hands, and the time to act is now.